All right, I just knocked out a pile of firewood there. Oak, cherry, and maple. Really nice stuff. What I do with this conveyor, once it starts piling up a little bit, I just push it over with the excavator and go from there and just keep adding to it. And then Levi fills a bunch of baskets. This wood is all for next year, but that leads me to my next topic. I got to make some big changes. And when I say big changes, I mean big price increases on firewood. Not for everybody, but when I was running the processor there, I was thinking, you know, the slowest part of our whole operation is loading all this firewood into baskets. We all know that. That's the only time we have to touch the firewood. But the wood bunker is only so big, and I like the baskets because the wood is stacked, it dries properly, and it's easy to quantify what you have. So in other words, we'll fill up 150 baskets or whatever, and it'll all be sitting there. You know exactly how much you have, what's seasoned, what is not seasoned, and along with that, we'll also have the wood bunker full in the spring, you know. Then first thing in the spring, we have probably at least a third of our customers, maybe even more than that now, that will take their firewood in the spring and it will be ready to go that fall and winter. And then the rest of it is kind of throughout the summer, and then you have all the Johnny-come-latelys, end of October, November, December. Everybody wants their firewood for the year and they want it to be seasoned. And that's what we provide, but I'm gonna make it more attractive to buy their firewood in the spring. What I'm gonna do this spring, early, I'm going to contact every one of my customers and tell them there's going to be a big price increase, probably 20% if they wait till fall to get their firewood. If they take it in the spring, it'll be the same price as this fall. And that will give them some incentive to get it in the spring and be done with it. That way, you know, we can have maple and cherry logs piled up and just split, run the processor and the tumbler right into the dump truck, deliver them nice clean firewood, and we never have to touch it. So we've been doing good the last couple years, getting more and more people to buy in the spring, but I got to get everybody to. That would be best. Now the oak, that's the problem. I've got 30 baskets of oak right here, give or take. That stuff's not going to dry, you know, so if you're to split, process the oak first thing in the spring, it's going to be questionable if it's ready that fall. But my thinking is this: you got all this oak, you know, you could, if they want a mixed load of like cherry, maple, and oak, you could put 2/3 of a cord right off the processor, dump a basket of oak in to finish it off. But that's the goal. And some people may not want to hear it, but surely if they think about it, they'll understand, you know. Each year we do more and more, and each year we sell out of firewood. I'm just about out, you know, just going to keep what I have for our own needs and a little bit of emergency wood. But besides that, we're almost out for the year of seasoned wood. And I don't know why people wait so long. I don't know why. If I was buying firewood for my own use, I would definitely have it first thing in the spring, if not the year before. Then you know it's dry, it's seasoned, it's ready to go. All right, so we got a visitor today. You may remember Eyal. I always don't know how to say your name right.
You're saying it perfect.
Eyal is from Israel. We did a video. You got some firewood off us a couple months ago or a month or two ago. Yeah. And the way this came about, if you remember, I smashed my 500i. I ran over it with the excavator. Not completely, but you'll see. It's
crooked.
It's crooked. It's crooked's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And Eyal used to be, you were a motorcycle mechanic.
Yeah.
But computer guy, you done it all.
I did some, yeah, I'm a curious guy. I like knowing stuff. So I was doing mechanics for, you know, a decade around, but I did a lot. I did also welding, fabrication, carpentry a little bit.
Did you find that square body yet you're looking for?
No, I haven't got to build my shop yet.
Yeah, so the
Dream
shop first,
yeah,
and then the square body.
yeah, square body that will just sit out and rot.
Yeah.
That helps no one. So
Yeah,
so
right.
I want to get going with it.
So he all reached out to me, and after he saw the video in the 500i, and he said, hey, would you want to sell that saw to me? And he's going to attempt to rebuild it. And I said, I got a better deal for you. You can have it. And the reason I said that is I don't know what's wrong with it. And I'd hate, if anyone can fix it, he can put the time in, or he's willing to put the time into it and the research. But like I said, the only thing that concerned me, it's bent up, you know what I mean? But when I started it ran right after I hit it with the excavator. It was smoking a little bit. And so I don't know if I cracked something internally or not. You're just gonna have to get into it and see.
Promise you that I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Once I'll discover that, I'll tell you.
All right, let's take a look at it.
Let's.
The whole thing has a bit of a twist to it.
Yeah, but the question is if the magnesium body got the twist in it.
Yeah, I think the body's okay. It's the backside, and the way this handle's smashed up, it's kind of making it sit funny.
Yeah.
But the whole bar, hopefully it's just the bar that's bent. No, I don't know.
Strange, because I'm looking down at that. Look down at that. That's what.
Yeah.
It's like this whole area. That's what worries me, but we'll have to figure out.
Yeah. I don't know if you can find aftermarket parts for a 500i or not. You know, I don't know.
First of all, I'll check the OEM parts because they are better. The reason why steel is steel, why we like steel, is because it is what it is. Everything is, you know, of a good quality, but it's pricey.
Yeah.
So I'll check what parts need to be replaced. I'll check the OEM parts price and see if it's, you know, because for me, I have the MS271.
Yeah.
Which is a great saw. It's exactly for my needs. You know, it's a fumbles. It's exactly for a prosumer person
right.
like me. But when you know better, you know better.
Yeah.
I'm dreaming about the MS261,
262.
261. So I'm dreaming about that.
You know what? If you like a 262,
yeah,
that 400, the MS 400,
it's heavier and bigger.
Just a no, it's not that heavy. It's just a here. Hold on. That's the 400.
That's great. Too heavy for me.
Too heavy?
Yeah, that will be a great yard saw, not a great go to the woods saw, because
yeah.
You know, carrying that and walking in the woods, you know how it looks like, you know, walking when it's slippery and the slope is that way and you need to climb, and
yeah,
I think, and I'm not 20 anymore.
You're not 20.
Yeah, I'm not. I discovered that I'm not 20 anymore.
Yeah.
So I prefer as light as I can, and I prefer to give up on some power to get lighter saw.
Right.
And that's why I was dreaming about the MS500, but there is no justification. I'm not doing enough firewood to justify the MS500. So it was just, you know, a dream like Ferrari. You know,
yeah.
We don't need Ferrari, we just dream about it.
Right.
But the 262, I think that will be the perfect thing for me, because it's a light saw, strong enough so
yeah.
you can do it all.
You run like a 20-inch bar on the 262?
On the 271. 271.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm running 20. I have the 16 because that's what I got when I bought it.
Yeah.
So I have the 20. I bought the 20. By the way, I bought a stupid bar. I didn't know that you can still buy bars with grease point at the end of it.
Yeah.
Which is so dumb.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's a thing even. So I
yeah.
bought it, and suddenly the sprocket at the front started, you know, getting jammed.
Right.
And I was just, what's going on? And I googled it. Oh, there's a grease point there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I hate that bar, and to be honest, even though this saw is good, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's too heavy for the
amount of power that it makes.
Has, yeah. So if it is that heavy, it should be more powerful.
Yeah.
And it's not. So you're not getting a light saw, and you're not getting powerful saw. So it's, loose. I don't like it. I don't know
Right.
why even.
So a couple things, since you watch our videos and you're here, you can help a lot of people. So one thing you noticed right away, and I knew that you would, everything down here at the wood yard really is smaller and tighter.
Way smaller. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Vermeer small.
Yeah.
It's not a skid steer small. It's a Vermeer small.
Yeah.
It's small in a way that, well, it doesn't look that way, guys.
Yeah, it's these cameras make everything look bigger, which is one of the reasons we're going to move a lot of this out where we have a lot more room. Because I get comments all the time like, you should use your dump trailer underneath the tumbler, or you should do this or that. You can understand why that doesn't happen.
There are two types of drivers, and you'll understand in a second. Two types of drivers that knows how to drive fast, and the gentle technical drivers. And you're a technical gentle driver, and you can see it on the skid steer, you can see it on how you back trailer in a long driveway, you can see it on everything. You do everything, you're easy on equipment. And if you're having hard time backing up here, it means that it's hard, because you know how to back up the trailer, and it's tight. It's very tight. This whole place is very tight.
Yeah, we got a lot of property, but a lot of valleys and hills. When you want flat ground around here, you have to make it, you know.
I saw some comments on the video that you posted of myself in it. That people ask, how many acres does he have? So I own 8 acres.
Okay.
How much can I use out of these 8 acres? You've been there.
Yeah,
you can
couple,
estimate
maybe 2.
Maybe couple of acres. The others are just recreational.
Woods.
Give me privacy type of land. So you have 100 acres, give or take.
Yeah.
How much is usable? 10%?
Probably 15%.
15%.
Yeah.
That's the other 85%, 85 acres is nothing.
Yeah.
It is something, but it's nothing.
Right.
And that's something that is hard to understand until you move here.
But like you said, it gives you the privacy out there. It gives you a place to...
I'm happy where I am, even though now when I drove around, before I came here, I drove around to see the area. Our area, and where I live very well, better than me. And it's not as it's way tighter than it is here. It's way more crowded, way more developed.
But right where you live, it's like you just drive up off the road and you're in the middle of nowhere.
That's exactly. I just won the lottery. I got it all. I'm closer to the city, to Pittsburgh, very close to Pittsburgh. I'm close to all the shopping centers around, and yet I'm in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. So I have no neighbors.
Yep.
I don't know if you can say it in on video. So cut it out. If just cut it when you're editing. But my father used to say that if you cannot pee from your porch, it means that your neighbor is too close.
No, that's right.
So I can pee from my porch. I'm not doing that, but I can.
Alrighty, y'all. You got the saw.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to give us an update if you get her going, okay?
I will give you an update regardless if I get it going or if I don't.
Okay.
I'll keep you posted on that. Hopefully, I'll have a good yard sale.
I think if you can, if it's nothing real bad, I think you'll be all right. I mean, I ran it a lot, but when you think of these guys use these 500i's for 8 hours a day every day, I've never done that.
You've done a week worth of 8 hours every day.
Yeah, I mean, they run them hard, and so hopefully you can get her.
I'm sure that I will.
Cleaned up, parts replaced, and
I'm sure that I will, and I'll find a way. I always find a way to do things.
That's good. Yeah, you look at it here, it looks like, woo, the whole thing got kind of a bend to it, but that might just be the bar too.
Yeah, I think that the bar adds a lot to...
Makes it look worse than what it really is.
Yeah, but we'll be smarter after. We'll take it apart and examine that.
Alrighty, y'all.
Keep you updated.
Well, thanks. Appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda, I'm going to start working on the leaves a little bit with the big Buffalo Turbine blower, but it has been a weird year. Here we are, the middle of November, and the oaks still have the majority of the leaves on them. Normally, most years, by about Halloween, they're about done, you know, but this year they're hanging on. So I'm not going to do like a full-blown cleanup, but I'm just going to kind of get the heavy stuff off. I'm going to start down by the main road. You know, years ago, I used to blow all the leaves down into the ditch line and just set them on fire and burn them up. And I did that for years, and it worked really well. And but over time, I don't know if it was people moved into the area that weren't from around here, because everyone used to just burn their leaves. But people would like call the fire department. People would come running up our driveway to tell me that there's a fire at the end of the driveway. I'm like, it's leaves. They're burning. That's what you do, you know? I kind of like the smell of burning leaves. I do. It's that beautiful aroma that leads you right into deer season, you know? Each season has different smells. Like when you cut your grass for the first time in the spring, I like it. I liked burning leaves. But after the fire department showed up a couple times, I even got to the point where I would call 911 and give them my address and say, I'm going to be burning leaves. So if anybody panics and calls you, it's a controlled burn, you know? So I did that. It's just not worth it anymore. They screwed it all up. But you can see, well, the oaks are probably about 50% fallen. Everybody always tells me, why don't you just mulch them up with the mower? When all these oak leaves are on the ground, it's impossible. You are literally like pushing leaves with the mower like you're running through deep snow or something. I mean, it's just, there gets to be so many of them, you just can't mulch them up with the mower. Now, like maples and cherries, things like that, but these oaks, they're like hunks of cardboard laying on the ground. Over here, these are some of the oaks that blew over. The chestnuts, just a few left on it. The big shagbark hickory out front, it was kind of disappointing this year. Normally it gets just a beautiful bright yellow, but it was so dry, it just kind of started to turn and they just shriveled up. But what I'm gonna do is just clean up down by the road. I'll blow everything back up here, and then I'll work across the yard and blow everything into the woods. All of that is gonna take me about 15 minutes. Then you gotta do a once over, because anything that's not bolted down or concreted into the ground is gone. By the way, this is who built our building. I mentioned it before, Pole Barns Direct. There's their phone number. They built that building up there, the one down at the old wood yard, one out the clearing. So I bought this last year off of Doug from One Eyed Customs, and the only reason he was selling it, he upgraded to the stand-on unit. You know, it's self-propelled Buffalo turbine, and that would be better just because it's way more maneuverable than the tractor. But this has cut my leaf cleanup time from 40 or 50 hours a year to maybe 2.5. I don't even know. It's incredible. This thing brings me joy. It does. You know what doesn't bring me joy though? The placement of this PTO switch right here. Even if this thing was up here, it would make all the difference in the world. When you're running anything on the 3-point, you know, you're turning around, kind of seeing what's going on, and as soon as you shift your body, maybe it's me, maybe I move weird, I don't know, but my knee bumps this and it knocks the PTO out. Happened just doing that little section down there 5 times, probably. I don't know why they put that right there. It doesn't make any sense to me. Besides that, this has been a great little tractor. Plenty of PTO horsepower, and you need it, believe it or not, just to run that turbine. Now, if you had a 25 horse, it would run it, just not as well as this 40 horse tractor does. And you know what else I like about this thing? Even the walnuts, them big walnuts, they're gone. You know, you don't want to be standing anywhere on the output end of this thing. I'm telling you, and like I said, if it's not bolted down, you better watch, because it's going to move. I have to even be careful when I'm working around the fence. I haven't had any problems yet, but I wouldn't want to be blowing directly on the fence. You know, down the side of it or whatever, that's no problem at all. And also with the stone driveway, you got to be very careful that you're just coming across the top of it. If you direct that thing down too much, it'll blow all these stones all through the yard. The good news is you could just run through the yard and blow all those stones into the woods. But anyway, before I wrap this up, I want to show you something I bought the other day. Pretty excited about it. Now, I've had good luck with all my DeWalt tools, and I have a lot of them. I have the 20-volt VMAX, I mean impact, drill, sawzall, grinder. I even have a small miter saw. I've got a bunch of DeWalt stuff. And once you get on to a certain platform, it's hard to move off of that platform because you have all the batteries, the chargers, all that. The only thing I didn't like about my DeWalt stuff were the nailers. I have a finish nailer and a framing nailer. The finish nailer is better, but the framing nailer has a lot to be desired. It sounded like wind up jack in the box when you fire the thing, and it's slow, it jams. It's just not a good tool. I think they did do an upgrade, but it's still the wind up design, and I needed a new nail gun for putting up all the board and batten on the new building out there, and it's going to take thousands of feet of siding, and I decided to pull the trigger on the Milwaukee. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. I think this afternoon I'm going to start sawing some siding on the mill, so that'll be coming up pretty soon. But this is the M18, the 30 degree, and the only reason I went with Milwaukee, it was between this and Metabo, is I already bought a few months ago a finish nailer, a Milwaukee, uses the same battery. So now I'm kind of running 2 platforms, but I did a bunch of research on these. It was between this and the Metabo, and the only reason I went with the Milwaukee is because I already have the finish nailer with the same battery. So hopefully it works out pretty good. But this is light years ahead of the DeWalt. They need to step up their game if they want to be in the nailer market. If they don't want to, they can just keep doing what they're doing. But anyway, I think that's about it for today's video. Like I said, coming up, sawing and siding. I am excited. It is going to look so good. And by the way, we're calling it the barn. You know, this building right here, we never did come up with a name for it, but that out there, just barn. It just fits perfectly. It looks like a barn. It acts like a barn. We're just going to call it the barn. So, but anyway, I think that's about it. I appreciate y'all being here. I really do. If you are a subscriber to the channel, hit that notification icon so you get notified when we upload. If you're not a subscriber and you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing. Hope you're having a great day. Catch you on the next one.